Flosstube. Welcome to Stitching with Grammy. My name is Barbara Johns, and you are here to watch me, hear me talk about cross stitch. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry. If you're new here, I know Annabella's has sent a lot of people over. Elaine, thank you so much. I love you. Mwah, mwah. Anyway, welcome. Today it is my 1 year flossiversary. I have been doing floss tubes for a year, and today is episode 13, and I just dropped a letter. So, 13 episodes. I did 12 in a year, so that's about one a month. Hopefully I will double that next year, because I want to start doing them. I know I say this every time, but I want to start doing them at least every other week. So, anyway, episode number 13. Congratulations to me on 1 year, and thank you guys. I wouldn't have one if you guys weren't watching, so thank you so much. What the heck's been happening? Okay, we're almost towards the end of July already. Can you believe it? I went to Stitch Con. That was a whole lot of fun. Everybody has already done their recaps. I don't have a whole lot to say. I went to the second weekend, weekend B. I'm going to insert some pictures here of my table mates. We had a great time. Crafty Kara, Katie, the Naptime Stitcher, Kelly, our new roommate, Stephanie, Rin, and oh, now I'm gonna mess up the names. Carrie and Nicole. There were 8 of us at our table. The tables were 6 top tables, but we squeezed more people in, so there were 8 of us at our table. Of those 8, I think 6 of us maybe ended up with COVID. And I got it really, really bad. In fact, they were almost going to admit me because they couldn't get an IV started. I went in to get the infusion, and I had to be poked at least 8 times. They finally got a vein down on my foot. So if they weren't able to do that, they were going to admit me, because I was not doing very well. I was not feeling well at all. But they got the infusion, and that helped a lot. I was down and out, missed a whole week of work after being gone for Stitch Con. So it was the first time since the pandemic hit that I had gotten COVID. So I don't want it again, but I wouldn't change a thing. I would still go to Stitch Con. I'm still helping Elaine plan all these retreats, and I'm going. I'm not going to let, this illness, it's a virus, scare me. I'm not going to hide in my home. I'm going to go and enjoy. What else has been happening? Not a whole lot. On my Instagram, I'm stitching_with_Grammy on Instagram. I didn't even go up to my sewing room before I went to StitchCon and then came home and was really sick. I didn't even go up into my sewing room for, weeks after I got back. And when I did, it was a hot mess because I had been finishing things and sewing things and getting custom orders out. And so I hadn't been up there, and it was a hot mess. So I had to spend one whole weekend just cleaning and organizing, and you can see those pictures on my Instagram. So that really helps to be able to, do some sewing and creating up there when you got a clean space and organized space to work in. So that was kind of fun. Other than that, let's just jump right in, and I'll start, because I don't want this to be a full-length feature film, as some people have been calling my previous ones that are 2 and 2.5 hours. Let's not do that this time, okay? All right, so at StitchCon, I have an FFO, but I can't show you because I was in the Smalls Exchange, so I'll insert some pictures here. I made a Queen of the Needle by Brenda Gervais, and I stitched it on a 46 count. I don't know what color the fabric was. I think it might have been the 46 count from Hobby Lobby, actually, in the ivory color. I think, I don't know. And then I also made a flannel floss friend to go with that, and you can see that in the pictures as well. And I have a picture of my person who received it, and I'm sorry I didn't write down your name, and there was lots of stuff going on. So if that's you, make a comment down below if that's you in that picture. The person that I got, part of Stitch Con, when you do a small item, you wrap it, and this is true for most exchanges, not just Stitch Con, but you wrap your gift that you're giving in a bag or a wrapping paper or ribbon or whatever that will indicate the theme of the project that's in the bag. So mine, because it's Queen of the Needle and sewing and stitching, I had a ribbon that had, it was a piece of fabric that I ripped that had sewing machines and pins and needles and stuff on it, and I had just a plain brown paper bag, and then I tied that bow on it, so all they would see is that it was some kind of stitching or sewing or needle related. So, and the person that got it was very happy. So mine, I went up and I saw this bag. So, you know, we all live to create. We're all creative people. So this could have been, if you really got into it, it could have been bees, because there's a bee. Or it could have been flowers, spring theme. But I honed in on that word create. That's what I was looking at. And I was right. This is the item that I got. Isn't it beautiful? And the back is wool. And the cute little pom-pom trim. Looks like little snowballs. This chart is Create Every Day by our wonderful friend Teresa Kogut. The person who made this for me stitched it on a 36 count summer khaki by Zweigart. The floss for the red is Ruby by Color and Cotton, and she did a wonderful job. I love it. It's so pretty. And then it says Stitch Con on the bottom. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so the other thing that was in the bag was this little needle minder that says Crafty. And the needle minder is from Snarky Crafter. And then she also included a pair of scissors in there. And the person that I got this from said, good advice to live by, enjoy. And her name is Danica, and she goes by Danica Stitches on Instagram. So Danica, I don't know if you watch me, but I'm going to tag you when I go onto Instagram and put a picture up and tag you in this video. So I hope you watch my Flosstube. Thank you very much. I will cherish it. I will put it here on my hutch along with some of the things that I made. And then I'm also, this is the Smalls Exchange item that I got last year at StitchCon. So I'm going to start keeping all these things together that my stitchy friends make in the swaps when I go to various retreats. There's another one that I got way up at the top that I got last fall at the Stitch Etc. retreat. And speaking of which, I was supposed to go and be a project bag vendor at the Stitch Etc. retreat, and I'm not doing that. Obviously, I'd be on my way up there right now. It starts tomorrow, on the 25th, but I chose not to do that. So I am going to be, if you had messaged me and wanted me to bring a specific project bag, or if you are going to be attending the second session and you ask for me to make something for you and I could bring it up there to save on postage, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't want to get into all the details. I'm just going to say that I thought this community was full of people who encourage and motivate and build each other up. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Somebody, I don't want to go into all the details. Those of you who know. Those of you, the person who did it knows. I know. And it just was very disheartening. So, moving forward, if any of you would like any of my project bags, please feel free to email me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. I have a bunch of them that I got done this weekend that are going to go out in the mail today. I will be also providing or having project bags at all of the Annabella's retreats. I will have some there's another thing I was going to be a vendor at, and I can't remember what it was, but I will have project bags with me. Please feel free to reach out to me. I just will not be at the Stitch Etc. retreat. So, those of you who are going, have a great time, and let me know how it goes. So, in the meantime, Annabella's, our first retreat, is going to be in November, as you know. That one is booked, and we do have a waiting list. The retreat is full right now. We do have a waiting list. So, the other retreat that we have an active registration is for the one in West Palm Beach, Florida. And that takes place in the 6th, 7th, and 8th of January. And I don't know about you, but all of us up here, up in the north, up in Michigan, where it's really cold in January and snowing, I cannot wait to go down to that retreat. And it's with the Primrose Cottage Stitchers, and it'll be a lot of fun. I watched Christy the Java Girl Stitches and her other friends, Fiona and Anna, I think your name is. Sorry if that's not it. And Lindsay, the four of them, and Emily was there manning the camera. They did a live on Java Girl Stitches Flosstube, and if you go check it out, just their friendship, to see their laughter, to see their, sharing in the gifts they made for each other or whatnot, that was so fun to watch. Their laughter is contagious. So I'm hoping you girls, if you haven't signed up, that you go sign up for that retreat with Annabella's in January down in West Palm Beach. All of the Primrose Cottage Stitchers and the mom, Emily, Katie, Lindsay, they'll all be there. We'll be having so much fun. So, if you haven't signed up yet, please go do that. If you go to Annabella's, she talks about it on every single one of her floss tubes. Elaine does. Also, you're gonna want to watch her on Friday. She's got some big news, really, really big news, and I am so excited for her. It's not my secret to tell, so I'm not telling, but trust me, you want to go make sure you watch her video coming up on Friday, because it's really cool news. So, anyway, that's my Stitch Con Smalls Exchange item. Again, thank you, Danica. I appreciate it. So, after that, FFOs. That was my first FFO. I don't have any other FFOs, but I have some finishes, a couple. One of them I showed you last time, and it's Fall Y'all by Stitching with the Housewives. Isn't that cute? I just love Priscilla's fall designs. I love them. I like the way she makes her little fall leaves here. It's so pretty. So, I finished that a while ago, but I just happened to run across it. And so I thought, okay, now I want to stitch more fall. It's still summer. It's 89 degrees outside today. I have the air running right now. But I needed to stitch fall. So, the next little project I dug out is something that I've had in my stash. I started it last year. I had just gotten some of the black done and started the leaves. This is from, and I didn't bring it over here. I don't think I did. Hang on. I did not. This was in the Winds of Autumn Blackbird Design book. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's in one of their designs in that book. But it was all stitched in black. And I decided, wait a minute, I want to add some color to that. So I stitched this on a 28 count Monaco that I coffee tea dyed. And it's not the stiff Monaco. I think this is just a 28 count even weave. It's not the Monaco that you get in the tube. This is a lot softer. And so when I coffee tea dyed it, it got even more soft. But I did it over one. Now, this pattern goes out 3 or 4 more rows this way. But if you look, these are the pumpkins, and this is like the start of the next pumpkin. So I decided, I had already stitched this one black because I started up here. So I decided, okay, I'll make this be the frame. So when I get over here, I wanted to make it symmetrical because this had, like I said, 3 or 4 more rows. So I just made them so that they were the exact same. So that meant I wouldn't have enough room to stitch the A as it was. And the A for this pattern, this is Blackbird Design, so you know it was for Barb Adams. Well, guess what? I'm a Barbara Ann. So I just left them as they were. This I had to take some of the little hoops off the edges and move it over just a little bit. And then I put my initials and the year I stitched it up in there. But it's over 1 on 28 count. And I love it. And so my plan to FFO this, I think I was at Dollar General, or it must have been Dollar General, because I don't really go to Dollar Tree, which I should, because that's where they say the better crafty stuff is at Dollar Tree. But I think this was at Dollar General. And it's a cute little frame. And I'm going to finish this in the frame. And I'm thinking I want to get some of those Chelsea's checks. I need to go to Annabella's and get a Bella bundle of Chelsea's checks and Priscilla's pretty plaids. Anyway, I want to do the Chelsea's checks in the back and then maybe paint this like a chalkboard black and sand it and rough it up a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, that will be the finish on that. And you'll see that when I do my next video in 2 weeks, right? Not in a month and a half, in 2 weeks. Okay, so that was my finish. All right, now, as you know, I'm participating in WhipGo. WhipGo is kind of like a bingo card. And you put your goals and your projects, and then you make a goal and you try to meet your goal. My goal is kind of ambitious, but I want to get some of these projects done that I have lingering out there. So my goal was to stitch 10 days in the month on each of the projects that are called. So I did that. In January I did really good. February I did good. Look at March. I did good. April. Look at me. Look at me go. And May. Not so much. I really got involved in May doing Mania. And I did the same thing in March, so I don't know how I did it in March, but I didn't in May. I don't know. Too much going on, too much stuff at work. I don't know. A coworker had a heart attack, I think, in May, and She went down to part-time, so we're picking up more work. I don't know what it is. Well, then, June. June was getting ready for Stitch Con, so most of what I was working on was my exchange piece and then some project bags that I was making to give away, to gift to people at StitchCon. Or for ones who placed an order and I brought them to StitchCon with me to deliver. So I had a lot that was going on. So I didn't get much done. But one for May that I did work on a little bit in June. Well, this was my Memorial Day start. Missy, are you paying attention? This is in a project bag that I made. It's got stars on the inside. And I think I made Missy's the opposite. Her stars are on the outside and this pretty fabric is on the inside. And it has beautiful, all the very pretty Weeks Dye Works floss. So I made a bag to go have the floss stay in this bag so that they don't get all tangled up and yucky. So that's that. And I'm stitching this in a 36 count oaken. And remember, this was the project that I was having a hard time with the stitches. 1 strand wasn't enough. 2 strands was too much. So I've been doing it with 1 strand, but I crossed the top leg twice, and it's working out really well. Then to remind you, it's One Nation by Twin Peak Primitive. Didn't get a whole lot of work on this. I did work on it a couple nights in the late night stitching room. I really didn't get a whole lot of stitching done, so here's what I have. And I don't have my ring light in here. I'm just have my overhead light on. But I really like how it's turning out with that. This has it done twice, 2 strands, and then starting over here, and then the flower in the middle, I did just crossing the top one. And I know this camera's really probably not showing up very well, but I think it works out great. So that's my progress on that. I got a long way to go, but hey, I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count oaken by Picture This Plus, which is another thing that I realize, and someone, Brenda, the handwork maniac, thank you. I went to get her input on what she uses for 36 count, and because it's Picture This Plus, she said a lot of times that shrinks more for some reason, and so it's tighter. So that might be affecting how it's turning out as well. So that is that, and bear with me as I put all these away because it's going to be a hot mess if I don't put them back. I have them neatly stacked beside me. Okay, so that was my June whip go. No, that was yes, that was one of my Junes. The other one, I didn't really do. I got 1 day on it, and I'm not going to pull that out. So, whip go for July. The 2 that were called Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. And I have been stitching on this, and I love it. This is one of the very first project bags I ever made. It's got that in the inside. I also have another project in here, and a viewer asked me the name of this chart because I showed it before. And this is just a Leisure Arts leaflet. It's been around for a long, long time, and it's called Liberty Angel. So I know somebody asked me to show this again. Remember, this is the one that I had on Vintage Country Mocha, and I couldn't get the whites to show up. So I restarted it again on this beautiful Picture This Plus Nocturne by Picture This Plus. And that's all I got on that one so far. But that's not a whip go. That's just one that I did in Mania or March Madness. And somebody had a question on it. So, my Land That I Love, you guys have all seen this. One of Teresa Koget's wonderful, beautiful, huge patterns. If you go to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch on her video that came out today, she has almost all of what I don't have done. She has done. She has from here over, this down here, she's got houses. So she needs to do kind of in this area. That's about all I have done on mine, so we could probably put our two together. So here's what I've got done so far. I started this project a long, long time ago, and I don't know if you remember that I did the border all the way around, and I got way down to this end down here, and you won't be able to see it, but somewhere down in here I'm off by a half a stitch. This is a 40 count mallow by I got it on 123 Stitch that says Swigert base, and it's called mallow, and I'm not gonna pull anything out for a half a stitch. I'll fudge it at the bottom row. But this is where I am. Let me fold that back over. And I'm really loving this. So that was one of my whip goes, and this was the one I got my 10 days on this one. So I will not pull this one back out the rest of this month, but I'm gonna save the rest of my month. Since I'm not going to the retreat, I have to work, which turns out it's for the better, because we've got a lot of projects that I wouldn't have been able to miss work anyway, as it turns out. You know, things happen for a reason that you don't know about it at the time, but you cancel, and it's a good thing that you did, because anyway. My next project is my other one that was called for the month of July, and it's Let Freedom Ring. This is by Leela Studio. Remember, I went to Nashville Needlework Market to help Elaine, and I got to see this model, and I met Leela, talked to her and her husband. I'm assuming it's her husband. Asked her the correct way to pronounce her name. It looks like Lila, but she said out of her mouth, it's Leela. I said, I will never call you the wrong name ever again. So it's Leela's Studio, and it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I don't know if you watch. Hi, Angie, Tiny House Stitcher. I don't know if you're watching me, but if you do, yours is beautiful. She's got a lot of this done, and her house is framed, and she's got some trees. So go check out her video as well, and check out her progress on this. It's so beautiful. So mine's still, because I'm still working on it, it's still in my Q-snap, but that's, let me put something behind it. That's where I am. I love this. I have a long way to go, a long way, but every little stitch is progress, right? And that one has a ton of floss, and it's all DMC. So I'm stitching that on a piece of Fabrics by Stephanie Colonial Parchment. So I'm so excited, and that's 40 count. So there's that one. I guess I could move this chair closer to me. I have a bin right beside me in a chair, so. Okay, where are we at? That was my whip go. So, at Stitch Con, any other whips, I'm telling you some more whips that I was working on that aren't in WhipGo. While at Stitch Con, excuse me, let me get comfortable here. I started, a group of us decided that we were going to start this pattern, and I had purchased it last year while I was at StitchCon. It wasn't my StitchCon start last year, but I had it in my stash. So people started talking about it, and so I thought, okay. Well, I was upstairs going through my fabric, and I found this fabric that looks just like the bags that they give you at Keepsakes when you purchase items. In fact, I had one here. I don't know what I did with that. But it looks just like the bags from Keepsakes. So I made a bunch of these to gift to the fellow stitchers who are going to be stitching this project, including Miss Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She got one, and if you watch Pam and Steph their thank you video, when they thanked about people that gave them stuff, well, I gave Pam one of these. This fabric was different, but it had the same band across the top. So a bunch of us are stitching, and Pam was working on hers last year, and Crafty Kara and I sat at the table with her, and we watched her working on hers. And so evidently this was a project that Sue Hillis made for Stitch Away retreat a few years ago. And it is the Keepsakes house. Your favorite needlework shop. And it's the Keepsakes house. And that's a picture of Keepsakes. In case you didn't know, it's actually in a house. And every bedroom upstairs has a different theme, and it's wonderful. So a bunch of us decided that we are going to stitch this. And look I even got Miss Sue Hillis to sign it. She's the sweetest. She really is. She's so sweet. So she also created a bonus chart when she heard that a bunch of us were going to be stitching this. Not the chart that you see everybody stitching. In fact, I don't know what I did with mine. It might be in my haul bin here. It's not the one that everybody is stitching that has the little characters, the little bus and the house. It's not that special. It's just another little special that if you stitch this all together, oops, I don't want to show the pattern. The top is the blue, the pattern that I just showed you. And then there's 12 different squares that you can stitch together for the, to complete it all as one. Here's another picture of it so you can see it a little closer. So this is how it was originally designed. Then, if you noticed, oopsie, where are we going? At the Stitch Away, they got 310, which is the cat that lives at Keepsakes. There's a cat called 310, which is the number for black, DMC. So they got that pattern. Well, this is what she made for us for Stitch Con. So since a bunch of us are starting this, I'm going to put this as one of those 12 patterns. But here's the top. And if you notice, that's done on a light blue color. And Pam was stitching hers last year on a blue, I think it was a 32 count Joblin, I think is what she had. Well, I found a 32 count. This is Dwarf Ada by Picture This Plus, but I don't think it's a Dwarf Ada. People, when they read that, thought that that was a misprint. But, so I stitched on this. Didn't get a whole lot done because you're at StitchCon and you don't get a lot of stitching done. But I think this looks just like clouds. The modeling on the background looks like clouds. So I got the top, very top peak of the house done. And a little bird sitting up there. So there's a little top of the house. Got a long way to go on that. But it's fun, and there are a bunch of us, and I will insert a picture probably at the end with my Stitch Con, all my Stitch Con photos. At the end, I'll play a little video of all the photos. And you'll see a group of us, and we were all holding our patterns, and I was holding this bag. So that's a bunch of us that stitched that, are stitching this. It was a lot of fun. StitchCon, I got to meet quite a few floss tubers, Candace K, the Virginia Stitcher, Vicky, Brenda, I mentioned her, Handwork Maniac, Garan Stitches, Ronnie, and Gary were there. There's so many, I know I'm missing people. There's so many, I can't even remember. You'll see in the pictures. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments below, ask away. But it was so much fun. We had such a great time. So the other stitch that this was my StitchCon start last year, and you might have remembered because I've also stitched on this earlier in the year. I think in February it was one of my WhipGo. But last year, the Sunday of StitchCon was Juneteenth Day, June 19th. And so I started Lindy Stitches, A Stitch for Sweet Freedom by Lindy Stitches. So I said, I have to bring that back and stitch on it again on the 19th, which was the Sunday when we were getting ready to leave. So I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done on it, but there's my progress on A Stitch for Sweet Freedom. I think I finished up more of her top here, but somebody posted their finish on Instagram. I can't remember who it was, and I said, oh, you make me want to get mine back out and get moving on it. And so I attached a picture, and she says, oh, you shouldn't have waited for that skirt because there's a whole lot of stitching in that skirt. So I'm gonna get this out. It's a beautiful stitch, and I'm stitching this on a Mystic Fabrics 40 count, and the color, look at the modeling showing up on that. The name of the fabric is Diversity. Perfect. So I got this fabric from Keepsakes last year. I had the pattern, excuse me. I had the pattern before I went to StitchCon, and I knew that I wanted to start it that day. So we rode over on the Stitchy bus the day before, Crafty Kara and I, so that I could make sure that I had got a piece of fabric for it. And that's what I found was the one that's called Diversity. The gals over there helped me find that, and it's perfect. I love it. Okay. So that is pretty much, no, that's not all. That's all I worked on, and I did One Nation. I worked on that one day as well. I also participated in Sherry the Colorado Stitcher does cross stitch camp. And so my June project, I thought I would really make progress on it. I thought it was a little pillow because I was only going to do part of it. Boy, was I wrong. This is a Patreon. I'm in Teresa Koget's Patreon, Tier 4. And I was just going to do the top part as my June cross-stitch camp project, right? I thought, oh, it'll just be a little pillow. That's not a little pillow. Even just doing the half of it. So I got to work, started doing the top, And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to just do the border to see how big it is. And so, I don't know if you can see. I stitched 9 stitches, and then you make a full cross. You do half stitch, and then on the 10th one, you do a full cross. Half stitches, the 10th one, do a full cross. Half stitches, the 10th one, do a full cross. So that you're not crossing everything, and then you know that those full crosses are your 10s. So when you keep counting to make sure you get it right, 10, 20, 30, 40, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. It's helping. I forget who told me that. Somebody at the Steel City Stitchers retreat told me that, gave me that tip. And I love it. So anyway, this is all I got done. I had the stem. This stem, I had it, and it goes all the way down to the line. But in my count of this, I'm also doing the letters. So I did this whole stem this many stitches too far down. So then when I stitched the flower, I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't touch my stem. So I had to frog that whole thing out. So that was my June project. Did not get that done. But hey, I started it, I participated, right? So while I was at Stitch Con, instead of working on this, I also worked on one of my badges. So remember I made this project bag out of one of my son's old pair of jeans? And it has this up on the top, the pink. Remember that? Well, I got my first badge on it. I'm stitching this on that same 28 count Monaco that I stitched this on. And so I just sewed it with some pink thread, really rough and kind of rustic looking. I just sewed it with pink thread so they'll all be sewed on the same. And then I just fringed it on the sides a little bit. So this is my 2021 Cross Stitch Camp patch. So these are free. This patches are free patterns on Sherry the Colorado Cross Stitcher's website. So I also participated in winter. So I got to do the winter badge, which is what I'm working on. And then this year, 2022, is a little camper, so I'm going to be stitching that. But look, let me show you. This was my July cross stitch camp project. It was this one, the Noel. And I chose carefully this time because I want to, eventually I'm going to stitch all these. These are from Leela's Studio. I want to stitch all of them the same, make them all into pillows the same way. So I'm just going to keep these all in the same project bag. I'm stitching it on a 40 count Winter Wishes by Fabrics by Stephanie. And here's my finish. Oopsie. Isn't that cute? I had this done on July 9th. Woohoo! I might be the first person that had their July camp cross stitch project done. The theme of June's was a holiday, so that's why I was celebrating, you know, Patriots Flag Day, 4th of July, whatever. That's what I did in June. July's requirements or, you know, guideline for the month was to stitch something that you were going to finish in something other than a frame. And so I'm going to make out of this, and that's why I did it on such a big piece. I started the next one. I got a bunch. I'm going to stitch them all on these Winter Wishes by Fabrics by Stephanie. So I'm going to stitch them all and have them all done. I've already got the jute cording. So I'm going to stitch all 8 of them. So I got that done. I got, I don't know that in there. me get this out of the way. I got this was part of haul, but I'm going to tell you about it now anyway, so I don't forget. But the August parameters or requirements for your project is to stitch either a designer or a fabric or a floss or something that you've never used before. And I've never completed a project on a fortnight fabric, so I have a 46 count opulent, and it's this beautiful mottled purpley color. Oh, you can see it right there. Oh, it's pretty. Ain't it pretty? It's like a purpley color. Yeah, you can see that. It kind of looks gray, but it's really purple. So I picked out a whole bunch of colors. See where I'm going here? I'm gonna stitch this, The Witch's Brew by Brenda Gervais, with the needle and thread. Isn't that cute? I have stitched the But First Coffee, which I didn't really, you can't really see my mug very well. Well, there you can, it sticks out now. And this pattern kind of is the same. She's got, Brenda Gervais, a bunch of these. So I'm going to stitch this one. I also stitched, if you can see it right there, let me pull it closer. This was in the Brenda Gervais Love Notes. And it's a little angel standing on a cup. So I thought I would do all these. So I got the hankering for fall and Halloween. So I'm going to get this one out. And this will be my August Camp Cross Stitch project. And it's on 46 count opulent from Fortnite Fabrics. And they had a bunch of fabric at Stitch Con in the annex. Unfortunately, I think Derek got COVID before Stitch Con, and so they didn't come. So it was a bummer not to see those guys again. So I'm going to put this right now in my Camp Cross Stitch project bag. There we go. So that'll be fun to do that, and I know right where it is because it's in my project bag. And each year I'll have another patch, kind of like when I was in a Girl Scouts. Okay, let's think of other whips. I did the camp badges, my camp project. Okay, I showed you this fabric before, how I had started this project on a black fabric, and I wanted to do it navy blue, so I dyed it navy blue. And here's the pattern is Stitching with the Housewives, America the Beautiful. You guys have all seen this. And this is how much I got done on it. It's still, in this camera, looks black. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now you can see that it's blue. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get this done, and I did show you in my last Flosstube the white frame that I have. So, I got some work done on that. Okay, the next thing I started, Teresa Kogut, bless her heart, for Tier 4 members of her Patreon. If you haven't joined her Patreon, I suggest you pause me right now, go do it. Actually, maybe wait till the 1st. If you join right now, you're going to have to pay, if you're tier 4, you're going to have to pay the $20. You can get all the projects that, and I didn't print them all out to show you today. And then on the 1st, all those get put in the secret shop, and then she brings out more designs. And part of tier 4 also is she's doing a mystery sale with us. And I didn't start it right away. But nah, I'm not going to do that. Well, you need to do it. It's so cool. And it's called Strawberry Manor. So I had to make a project bag. This is the inside. I had to make a strawberry themed project bag for my Strawberry Manor. I love it. The little gingham. It's so cute. Okay, so here is the first part that was released was the part with the just the front top with the house. Now, part 2, the second month was released, and it's starting to get the strawberries, more of the alphabet. And this is what it's going to look like. She gave us a bunch of sketches that she was considering doing and let us kind of vote on it. And it was the people who voted, the whatever got the most votes. And I'm doing this on a 40 count bramble by Pitch of This Plus, I believe. And I had to make a flannel floss friend as well. This was the Notions Keeper that I designed. And it had to have strawberries. And the inside, see how it works? It's flannel. It sticks. It's gingham. Here's my floss. Here's the ones I'm working on. Quilted, padded. If you're interested in a set, send me an email, stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. I'll show you in a minute a couple that I've got ready to go out in the mail today. Or, not today, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I can't sleep, so I'm filming a floss tube. Anyway, here's my progress. I love this. These colors are so vibrant. I built a house. I got to put my windows and door on, but I built a house and I started to put in my windows. Don't you love it? Now, I already see where I screwed up, but I'm going to leave it. Because if you look here, how all these little strawberries go down, on the top row, they're like pointing this way, but I made them point this way. They're still there. It's the same count. It's just instead of on this side of the loop, they're on this side of the loop. So it'll all turn out. You never know. If I didn't tell you, you'd never know. So if you're not a member, go get it. Go get caught up. She just released the second part, so there's plenty of time. I think there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to be either 6 or 8 parts. So that's Strawberry Manor by Teresa Kogut in her Patreon. I love it. And I've got the floss hooked on the little hook inside my bag. And I just made a cute little zipper pull with some rickrack and some of the ribbon. And I'll put my angel charm on it. Because I always put an angel charm. And you know why? Because I want my stitchy friends to be blessed. Okay, so then, I don't know why. I just got a bug in my bug to stitch Christmas. I was going through some of my patterns, looking at stuff. I just got a hankering to stitch some Christmas. Christmas in July, right? This is about the only Christmas I did in July. And it's the Christmas rose by Blackbird Designs. And I'm stitching this on the other half of the Bramble. I think it's Bramble by Picture This Plus. 40 count. And here's what I have so far. Just a little bit of the alphabet and a little bit of the border. And I'm using the Called For Weeks Die Works. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so there's my Christmas in July. I can't wait to get back to that. Get some more stitching on that. I need to make a new project bag for that too. Speaking of which, okay, so, you know, I got this. I'm like, okay, I know I have other housewives fall patterns. What did I do with them? Because last year the Stitch Etc. retreat with Priscilla and Chelsea was held at the end of September, so it was closer to fall. So I really wanted to stitch fall. I was stitching a fall swap piece. I just had hankering. I had to do fall. So I bought a bunch of the tiered tray tidbits and these little ones, and I'm like, where are all my fall patterns? So I have all my Stitching with the Housewives patterns all lumped together. I thought, no. I need to make their own bag so I can find them, right? So I separated my fall and my Christmas, and I'm like, what can I put them in? Why don't I make a project bag? So it wasn't one of these bags. And this was my Let's Go Ride a Bike. When I got, see my Let's Go Ride a Bike? It's right there. That's the one from Tomorrow's Heirloom. That's the project that we did and it's exclusive. You can get that. That's the first one they released of the bike series. And you can get that at Tomorrow's Heirlooms. Just call them and they can kit it up for you. But I don't know if they sell just the pattern or the whole kit. But anyway, as you know, there's 2 more bike patterns that she's released. Actually, the 3rd one just came out. There's a sunflower one, there's a fall one, and now there's a Halloween one. So, of course, I'm going to get those. But, you know the big canvas bags that have the really long handle, and they have this on the front and the back? This doesn't have it. This just has websites and Fat Quarter Shop on the back. So I didn't use one of these. I used one of the big canvas. That's one bag. I made it into 2. This is my fall Stitching with the Housewives bag. Isn't that cool? I just cut the bag, just the front of the bag out. Here's the back. Matches the band on the top. It's got all my patterns. It's got fabric. It's got all the fall patterns that I want to stitch all in one place. So I decided that now I know where they are, I'm going to stitch one. Now when I dyed this blue fabric, remember it was navy blue, I dunked some in just a little bit and so it was a lighter blue. Well, not all her patterns have to be on black, right? So this is Hello Pumpkin. Sorry about the glare. Here we go. Hello Pumpkin. So I'm stitching this. And this is on a 28 count Monaco that starts in the tube, the white Monaco in a tube. And I just dyed it. And so I'm doing this on this denim. It looks like blue jeans. And I'm using all the classic colors that she uses, except this is, and I didn't bring the floss for this over, but I think this is Fallen Leaves. It's one of the variegated Weeks Dye Works or it's not a classic color. It's either Weeks or Gentle Arts. Fallen Leaves or pumpkin something or other. That's what I'm using for that pumpkin. And instead of making it striped, I'll have the openings here, but I'm making the whole pumpkin that solid orange color. Oops, my needle's hanging. I'm going to make it that solid orange color. So there's Hello Pumpkin, because I had to get a jump on fall stitching. So that is in my fall bag. So I'll stitch that. I'll stick that in there because it'll fit my Q-snap and multiple projects because I made it nice and big. Okay, well guess what? I had to have my Christmas, right? Here's my Christmas bag. Don't you love it? And then on the inside of this is black and white buffalo plaid. So in this one, I've got all the stitching, or the Christmas ones. I've got more black fabric because these will probably be done on black. Here's some that I've started. This is Holly Tree Farm. Whoopsie. This is what I started last year. Left it kind of mid-stitched. Again, on 28 count Monaco that I dyed. This was Hello Santa. And just looking at that, I may redo some of the white. The white doesn't look very white, does it? It's kind of cool. I might redo the top of his hat, but leave the beard all grungy like that. This pops out really white, but I don't know why this looks so grungy. So that is the All Jarred Up series, Hello Santa. So this is in the bag. I'm going to do Merry and Bright. And this is the, whoa, I'm knocking things down. When I went to the last year's Stitch Etc. retreat with the housewives, we did the Halloween plaid. And Priscilla signed it. Well, I'm also going to do, this was an exclusive through the Fat Quarter Shop last Christmas. So I'm going to do that one. And another one I'm going to do this Christmas is this one. And this is for Jolly Housewives last year. And their new shirts that they had last year were the bottom part of this trucking along. And that matches the shirts they had last year. So I'm going to stitch that one. And then there's a whole bunch. I already did this one. I don't know why this isn't there. Here's a previous finish. This is the Ho 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 on 28 count Monaco that I dyed Tropical Teal. And here's my, since we're talking Jolly July, here's the other one that I stitched from that same series. That's their Dapper Doodads from last year. I love the wood grain on that little car. Looks like an old Subaru. Or not Subaru, Suburban. Okay. Now, let me clear off this Christmas. So, I've got a lot of tier trade tidbits that I want to get done this year. Little smalls, but I keep starting all this big stuff, right? Okay. Let's see, where are we at? lift my pattern out for my strawberry sale. Okay, we talked about camp. We talked about cross-stitch camp. Let me talk to you about 2 things of stitchy kindness. Can we do that? While I was gone, I have informed delivery on my mailbox. On my mail, you get it through the United States Post Office. Well, I was at Stitch Con and I was looking on my phone, looking at my emails, and it said, oh, here's what's expected to hit your mailbox today. And I was so excited when this showed up. Look who it's from. Oh, maybe I shouldn't put her address. Look who it's from. Janet Jabber, thank you. It was so nice to know I had a card from you, and I got a little sticker. It's so cute, and it's just, she just watches my floss tube, knew I was headed to StitchCon, and then just sent me a little card for thanking her, thanking me for watching her. Thank you, Janet, and remember that name because just remember that name. So that was some stitchy kindness I got in the mail while I was gone away from StitchCon. But let me show you. I got lots of goodies at StitchCon. We had I had table mates. This was from Kelly. It was a pattern, and then it was one of these books. Like a journal, but you can cross stitch on the front of the book, and there's some floss inside and probably a pattern. Stephanie, who was at my table, this is a mug rug that she embroidered and quilted. It's so cute, and there's a counting pin. Crafty Cara, little bags that say I stitch a latte. You need to go check the girl out because she has shirts that she sold, the ones that are like this, and it's kind of, I'm going to put the link below. It is kind of like a custom ink type thing, where the campaign or whatever is only available for a short time. So I don't know if this one's still available, but I know this one is. And it says, what StitchCon means to us. And in the StitchCon Facebook group, she asked people to write one word, what they think when they think of StitchCon. What brings to mind. And I'm not going to turn around and show you, but on the back of this shirt, I don't know if I could do this. Here, I'll just turn the shirt around. How's that? Anybody else ever done this on a floss tube? Here's what StitchCon meant to people. This was my word. Togetherness. Friendships. Excellent. Mind-blowing. That word was big. Stitchy kindness. Pam and Steph. Adventure. These are all the words that StitchCon means to people. And it could be any retreat. But if you were at StitchCon, and I'm just going to leave this on backwards. If you were at StitchCon B, Kara and I wore these the first full day that we were there, Friday. We both had our shirts on. And so people could, oh, how can we get one? How can we get one? If you were at StitchCon A, you didn't see them because, we were at StitchCon B. So go check it out. I'm going to put the link below because it applies to either weekend. I know she's put on the Facebook page the link to this. I know Pam and Steph have already ordered their shirts, and they're really cool. So go order one, and I'll put the link below. So that's some more of the stitchy kindness. Everybody's already showed this. I'm late to the party, but Keepsakes as we checked in at Stitch Con. We got these really nice bags. And I have fuzz all over mine, or threads. Really nice bags. A lot of people left patterns on the table. We got a Stitch Con passport, so we could go and find all the local restaurants, and there's just a bunch of information on the inside, itinerary, who to thank, all that kind of good stuff. A couple other patterns on our seat when we got in there. In this bag, as you guys have probably seen these all, we got a Stitch Con journal with the embossed Stitch Con. It's like a leathery type with the embossed letters. You can kind of see that embossed. A stylus with a stylus for your iPads, and it's a pen, and that's a journal on the inside. That's pretty cool. Another one of my table mates, Miss Katie, the Naptime Stitcher. She gave us jars for, to save up our Stitchy fund, because, so that's what that is. A little jar to save for our Stitchy outings. And then pins and needles. She gave us a little tin that has a magnet and a little heart in there. So thank you, Katie. So that's just some. And then in here, I don't even know how I can begin to show you. See all that stuff down in there? I don't want to dump it all out, but just bag full of various cute little floss drops. So many people were exchanging floss drops. I took enough for the whole class. I took so many that I was bagging more up as I was sitting at the table. I think I have one package over here. I put together my floss drops. I did a little, a pineapple is the sign of welcome and hospitality, so I had a little pineapple charm on all of mine, and the Stitching with Grammy logo. Focus. And then my card. So that's what I gave away. But when I was at the La Quinta, if you guys don't watch, I don't want to cry. Kathy and Missy, 2 needles pulling thread. I love you, Kathy. I love you too, Missy. And go watch them, okay? But they came over and they just showered me with some cute, cute stuff. So I got some of their cards. 2 needles pulling thread. Go watch their Flosstube. Kathy and Missy are the sweetest girls. I love them. Missy is married to Kathy's brother, and they're like sisters, and they're so sweet. And these are some charms that I believe Kathy made, and she knows a scissor pull and a charm for my project bag, and she knows that Missy and I are stitching that One Nation together. So I'm gonna, now that I've shown these, I'm gonna put them on my project bag and my scissors. This is such a cute little notepad, and it matches Priscilla's Let's Go Ride a Bike that we did at the Tomorrow's Heirloom Retreat. I just pulled this off. It's on magnets. But look. They match. Isn't that cute? So they saw that I had finished this, and that I like the patriotic theme. So also and I'm surprised it got crushed a little bit, but a cookie of the lovely state of Maine. And I broke off the top of it. And so I'm like, okay, so where do you guys live? And Missy's like, oh, we live right there. And I said, oh, what is that near? And she said, a lobster. And I said, no, that's not how they say it in Maine. Say it the way they say it in Maine. Lobster. I can't even say it. It's a lobster. A lobster. So, at the end of the summer, Annabella's is going out to Cape Cod. Hello from Liz Matthews is the guest designer. And the retreat is going to be in Cape Cod in the end of the summer and the fall next year. And I'm so excited because I've never been out there. And Missy messaged me twice yesterday or today to say that they had a Stitch New England Day. And there's a bunch of people there that I cannot wait for our Cape Cod retreat. So, if you have time, keep watching Annabella's for when that retreat's going to be in Cape Cod, and we'd love to have you. So, one more thing, they knew I like to camp as well, and they found me a cute little Ray Dunn camper. Isn't that cute? Thank you, girls. I appreciate it so much. And Kathy, I know you got a little tough road ahead of you, but I know you're gonna do it. You're a strong woman, and you got somebody right in your corner that sits right next to you, and you got a whole big Stitchy community that is here rooting for you. So, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch their Flosstube, subscribe to their channel, and just show Kathy some love, okay? So, speaking of which, if you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. You know, when it's a month or so since I post, a lot of people comment, "Oh, it's great to see you back. Oh, we missed you. Oh, it's been so long." You know, and I get so many views, but when you look down in the analytics, 50%, almost 50 or over 50% of the people who view my videos are not subscribers. That just blows my mind. So subscribe, please. Hit that thumbs up. Like my channel, subscribe, share it to your friends. I'm not monetized. I'm not doing this for money. This is a hobby. I have a full-time job. But I would really appreciate, you know. So my subscriber count will go up. Not because I want to make money and do all. It's just kind of fun. It's fun. So if you can do that, please subscribe. Go watch Two Needles Pulling Thread and subscribe to theirs too. So I'm going to sit it right up. Oh, look at it. Looks so pretty right there. I should put it behind the truck so it looks like the truck's pulling it. But okay. Thank you, girls. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Let me talk about plans. I'm into fall and Halloween. So I was, here's the other, my other haul from Stitch Con. One of the other things I got was another piece of Fortnite fabric that I've never used, and this is called Grandma's Stuffin', and it's yellow with like brown modeling on it, and again it's 46 count. So I pulled out a couple of the fall projects that I want to finish. This is All Hallows Eve by Brenda Gervais. And this one I worked on last fall, and oh, you guys, excuse me, you stitchy friends, you stitchy people, this is where I am on that one. I don't have a whole lot to go, mostly flowers and vines, The lady's done. The cat's done. So I just need to stitch the rest of the flowers. This part, a couple birds, and then the flowers on these vines. And she'll be done. So I also found this one. This is a new release that was just came out, and it's Be Ye Thankful. Again, Brenda Gervais with Dye Needle and Thread. And I think I'm going to stitch this one on that 46 count because I want it to be little. And I got an idea what I'm going to do with this. So, I want to get these done. Because aren't you guys ready to stitch fall? Who's ready? Anybody else ready to stitch fall? Put it down in the comments below. Another thing, and I know I just showed you these big, huge starts that I started. But August 1st, I'm going to have another new start. Why? Because I can. And a lot of floss tubers have said this. I don't know who coined it to begin with, but you can't finish it if you don't start it. So why leave it sitting all kitted up? Just start it, right? And then, oh, you guys remember last year at market when I went and helped Elaine. She, being the sweet, loving, wonderful woman, I love you, Elaine. She gifted this to me for helping her. Because she saw me talking to Pam Lewis, the designer, and she saw how interested I was in it, I cannot wait to start this. This is 36 count Murky. And I have all the beautiful, gorgeous, so I made a little bag to stick them in. This is the beautiful Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works floss. And I'm going to do this on Murky. And there it is. And when I talked to Pam Lewis, she told me exactly how she stitched everything. And her instructions were to start down here in this bottom corner. I've never started in the bottom corner of anything ever. Back in the day when I learned, you start in the center. Most of these other samplers that I've been doing, bigger projects with the border or whatever, I start in the upper left. But she said, nope, start down here in the bottom right. And then she told me exactly, okay, go up here and do this tree, stitch it up and down. Then go up here and do this tree, stitching it up and down. Because it's all variegated threads. Because I asked her, how did you do the roof to get it to look the way it looked on her model, the model that she stitched. So she told me, and so my first stitch will be right there. So I'm starting this August 1st. If anybody has praiseworthy stitches, Halloween stitches, maybe not Widow's Black's B&B, but there's a bunch of other ones that are very similar. If anyone has a praiseworthy stitches project that you want to work on, let me know, because I'm starting this one on August 1st. Okay? I'm so excited. I'm not going to wait till October, Halloween. Why? I'm under no illusions that I'm going to have this done by Halloween. That is not my plan in starting it on August 1st, but I just want to stitch it. I just want to start it. I can't wait. So, I want to watch the movie Hocus Pocus while I'm stitching it. all the other fun Halloween movies, and I'm not big on Halloween. Honestly, when my kids were younger, and I've seen this lately, my youngest is 21. At some of the parades in this town, Eaton Rapids has a huge 4th of July parade, and kids seem so greedy. They just run out in the street, and the bigger kids are taking the candy away from the little kids. And to me, trick-or-treating has become a way for greedy kids to get their hands on a bunch of candy. Is the way I see it. Kids that are running and pushing, and it doesn't have to be that way. I don't know why I'm so negative about it. In my little town, the businesses do trick-or-treating, and then 2 days later, Halloween, they all... I miss the days when we had trunk-or-treat, that you just go to a parking lot. Most of the time it was at our church, and then you just open up your trunk and people just go around in the parking lot, and then you get in your car and you go home. It's not going in the streets and running in traffic and doing... I don't know. Let me get off that soapbox. So anyway, we're going to stitch Halloween, okay? I don't like scary Halloween. Some of the Halloween I like. Let me talk a little bit about haul. Is that where we are? Stitch Your Kindness, haul, plans. I talked about my plans. Let me talk about my haul. You know, I got this pattern. I went to Stitches and Things in Fenton, Michigan. What else did I get when I was there? I got some of the Laurie Holt stitch cards. I got this I found at Target. I pulled the tag off. This has words on it, and it's like burnt in there, so it's not like something you can sand off. So I'm gonna get Goo Gone and get this, but I'm gonna finish it or paint it, and that other Stitch Con piece I wanted to put on this board. At Stitch Con, I did buy a project bag from Black Cat X Stitchery, Tiffany. I bought one of her project bags. She has a little black cat charm on all of her bags, and it's cute little mermaids. So she is we're going to talk to her about not only donating some prizes for our giveaways at the Annabella's retreats, but possibly being a vendor, because you know I'm not gonna be able to sell and sew a ton of them. I'm gonna bring some, but we might be looking for additional project bag vendors and definitely giveaway gifts. So with that being said, if there's anybody who watches this who is a designer or a maker of any kind of accoutrement or patterns, needle minders, whatever it is you make or design, if you would like to contribute that to Annabella's for our giveaways for our retreats that are coming up, as a way, especially if you're a new designer, to get your name and your projects and your designs out there, please let me know, or Elaine from Annabella's. You can get a hold of me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com, and our first retreat is in November, and so we are looking for people to donate things for giveaways and prizes, because you know we're going to have so much fun. We're going to play a lot of games and do drawings and giveaways. So if anybody wants to contribute, let me know. Thank you. So I bought this pattern. I never made one of these little tarts, so I thought, oh, this is so cute. They had a finish in the little tart pan right by the cash register, so of course I gotta buy one of those. This is something else I got at Stitch Con. I made this one. It's the birds, and this is the coffee bird, and this is Heart and Hand, and I did this on a I think this is 25 count, some type of Lugana or something. Because I mentioned this in my last floss tube, I did a little rick-rack. I wanted to practice stitching in hand, so I did this whole thing stitching in hand. Normally I use a Q-snap tight as a drum, but this whole thing, my tag's bother because my shirt's still backwards. I did this by hand, but I don't think I'm going to do these. I think I want to do these small on 46 count. But I got the stitching bird and the quilting bird. Aren't they cute? So I'm going to make those, and I thought if I do different fabrics and different sizes, they can all go in a little dough bowl together, and they'll look so cute. So that's something else I got. I have a piece of 32 count. Why I got 32 count, I don't know. Tarnish Lugana by Fiber on a Whim, I believe. While I was down, and that was from Moe's Needle and Thread. And then at Stitch and Frame, no, that's in Stitches and Things. Stitch and Frame is in Fort Wayne. I'm going to go there. You'll see why in a little bit. This is a 40 count flax linen. I got a 40 count summer khaki. I got a 36 count. This is at Moe's because I went to Moe's Needle and Thread in Portland, Michigan as well. And this is a 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. I love that. And I don't know what this is. It's something that I cut because you can tell I cut it. I don't know what I did with the other half. It's bagged up to go somewhere. I think, I don't know what this is. But it's 40 count something, and I love it, but I don't know what it is. It's in my stack. Here is ivory colored 46 count linen, and it's in the ivory color, and this is just the stuff from Hobby Lobby. It's $6.99, right? If it's on sale, then it's even cheaper. But you said, oh, Hobby Lobby. It's not like this linen. It's not like, you know, but it is what I used to stitch this. This is that 46 count. And this is one of Annabella's. Elaine and her daughter are designing. They have tons and tons of designs. They got some new Halloween ones that are so cute. So, like I said, if you're going to be stitching Halloween, go check out their new designs. And this is one of their 4th of July designs that I stitched. They usually stitch on, 14 or 16 count. And I told her I love all her patterns, but I want to do them all on 46 count. So you can see the difference, so that people can see you can stitch on whatever you want. Just because the pattern and the model show 14 count Ada, doesn't mean you have to stitch it on that. Same with like Priscilla and Chelsea's, all of their patterns. Most of the time they do 28 count Monaco. So a lot of people, because this is getting harder to find, they'll stitch 14 count Ada, black Ada. You don't have to. You can stitch it on whatever you want to stitch it on. So, anyway, that was that Hobby Lobby 46 count. And then I just happened to be able to put my hands on a 40 count piece of Barb's Blend. It's got my name all over it. Although I don't like going by Barb anymore. It's in high school I did, but right now I like Barbara because it sounds better with John's. So I'm a Barbara. But this is the Barb's Blend. It's kind of a grayish color. My lights in here are not doing it justice at all. Maybe put it behind. It's even showing up light here. It's like a gray. And it's very, very beautiful neutral. So that's a lot of the haul that I have. I also got a bunch of thread I'm in the Floss League with the Happy Little Stitch Shop that she's had going on for a while. The July ones were very, very festive. Red, whites, and blues. The colors that she picks out turn out really well every month. She picks them out and kind of twists them together, and if they look good together, boom, that's what we get. And it's classic color and Weeks Dye Works. I don't know if she's accepting more people. I know Annabella's, Elaine had a floss club. I don't know if she's accepting more people or not. Give them a call or email, message them, and see if they have any spots open. Elaine, and Annabella's, and Happy Little Stitch Shop. Speaking of Happy Little Stitch Shop, a year ago, it's been over a year, she started a Stitching with Laurie club for Laurie Holt. So all things Laurie Holt. Quilting, cross stitch, crocheting, whatever. Oh, I'll have to get up in a minute. But right now, part of the Stitching with Laurie club is you get a gift box. During the year, she puts together a little box. There's a cost to it, but it's only available for people that are in the Stitching with Laurie club, and that goes from July 1st to June 30th, and then they re-up for the next year. So the second year just started, but this is the box for the first year. And in this, lift up the box so you can see. This is how big the box is. It's cool. In this box, we got a cute little notepad. It's like a grocery list. You can check it off when you get it. Write your groceries down, whatever. Cute little, and this came out with her cookbook line of fabric. Cute little storage jars to be organized. They're plastic. They got a little bee, her emblem on them. Pretty colors. Will look cute up in my sewing room holding her buttons or whatever. One of these Riley Blake design. It's a 360-degree spray. It's a Laurie Holt. Let me open it because there's a pretty lady on it. It's one of her vintage ladies, if I remember correctly. I have one of these already, but you can always use more than one. See that? It's so cute. And the gingham on the bottom. And I have two ironing places. One right beside where I stitch, or not stitch, where my sew, it's like a L shape. So I have an ironing, and then I have my big ironing board that I stand up. But so I have two of these now. So that was in our box. What else is in our box? We got these little sharp scissor container things, or to put over your scissors or hooks so they don't scrape anything. Then Laurie Holt herself, Angela from Happy Little Stitch Shop. It's just, that's her Flosstube, her YouTube channel. Laurie Holt herself comes in and chats with us in the regular Happy Little Stitch Shop live that Angela does. Mondays is cross stitch, Thursdays is quilting. And Laurie Holt's in those lives while Angela does her Flosstube lives and QuiltTube live. So Angela has become really good friends with Laurie, and so Laurie said, let me know when you put your box together. I want to give something for everybody in the box of the Laurie Holt Club. So she did. This is from the cookbook design. It's a little lunch box, little metal lunch box. I forget what Laurie keeps in hers. I think I don't remember. She keeps something in hers. Maybe stuff for her planner. Anyway, all of the goodies inside this are exclusive from Laurie. Laurie was at her grandma's when she was little, I think she said, and that's her with that hair dryer on her head, eating her breakfast. That's a picture of her, but this is her little card, her QRL, whatever. She gave us a bunch of pins for cookbook line, for her stitch line. for her bee plaids and for the My Happy Place. And she gave us a little bag of her cute little buttons. And there's Miss Laurie Holt right there. Very nice lady. Also, a tin. Woo! A tin. And in this tin is stationery. And they're so cute, little stationery. And there's gingham on the back of all the envelopes. Aren't those cute? Oh, and they're all different. Aw, life is like a beautiful ride. That's the pink one. Of course, she had to have her bee because, you know, she's bee in my bonnet. That's her name of her company, and so all her logos are bees. Write your own story. So cute. I had not looked at all these. This is the same as the outside. Just take one stitch at a time. Which is like we can say on all these big projects that we start. One stitch at a time. That's all you gotta do. And then there's one in the green that says smile. And then all the matching envelopes. Isn't that cute? Thank you, Laurie Holt. I don't think she would ever watch my Flosstube, but if she does, thank you, Laurie. And Angela, thank you for putting this together and getting your friend Laurie to do that. So, that was that happy mail. So let me put these back. Also, this happy mail, I don't know about you, I am so excited about this. If you weren't able to get in, please make sure you're on the wait list because I got my Annabella's All Thing Autumn Spirit Wear. And mine, I put on the back, Barbara John, Stitching with Grammy. So you guys know who I am, right? I just thought that was kind of cute. So instead of just shirts and sweatshirts, she had a lot of other things you could choose from. You could get water bottles and all sorts of stuff. Well, I don't know if any of you have ever seen, you haven't because no one's ever been to my house. I cook a lot. When I feed a crowd, I always wear an apron. And I went to Sam's Club and got a bunch of these aprons that are this color. But guess what? This one has Barbara Stitching with Grammy. Aren't those cute? You know what I might do? You guys ever watch Debbie and Kefren from Snug Harbor Crafts? Well, Debbie always wears an apron. Well, when I cook, I always wear an apron. If I'm cleaning, doing dishes in my kitchen at all, I have an apron on. So I was thinking, instead of, wearing this shirt all day, I'll wear this one day, of course. I'm going to wear whatever clothes I wear. I'm going to wear my apron all day, every day at the retreat. Isn't this cute? Stitching with Grammy, all things autumn with Annabella's. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting really excited. It's getting close. November will be here before we know it. So, we got a lot of work to do, Elaine. Elaine also has a big, huge announcement that she's got to make really soon. So that's going to come into play as well. Okay. Are you guys ready? Let's talk about giveaways, okay? As I mentioned, this is my 1-year anniversary of my Flosstube. You have come to the right place because I am going to give away lots and lots of stuff, and we're almost at an hour and 45 minutes, so we're going to wrap this up with giveaways. So, if you remember correctly, last week, I told you this was Corey Yoder fabric, but it's not. It's Lila's Boutique is this Love Notes. And the word was love, and this is a set that's got both. And I'm going to enter, the other one was the word star. And that was this project bag. So I'm going to enter the random comment picker video here. Hello, Stitchy friends. We're going to give away some project bags. The first one I had you say the word was love. So let's see how many comments we have. 73. Now let's start. Renee Day, I love your new flannel floss friend. Great idea. Thank you for entering, Renee, and I will get your please email your name and address to me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. Okay, let's go and get our second one. The word was star. Oh, whoops, I gotta add. Okay, let's scroll down and see who wins the star bag. Janet Jabber, you have won a project bag from me. I know it's not your first one because I met you in Fort Wayne. Maybe we can meet in Fort Wayne again and I can bring it to you in person. Get a hold of me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. Congratulations, Janet Jabber. And if you guys have not checked out her Flosstube, go do it. She puts a new one up every Tuesday. I love watching Janet Jabber. Her smile is so contagious and makes me so happy. So congratulations. Congratulations. And again, Janet Jabber, this is yours. Let me know if you want to meet sometime in Fort Wayne. I can come down and we can have a stitchy day. We'll get with Crafty Kara and see if she's able to join us once she gets back from the Stitch Etc. retreat. Maybe in the next couple weeks we can meet. I'm also going to be going down hopefully soon when Elaine tells me which weekend. I will be going down to North Carolina to visit her and her beautiful log home and see where we're going to have the retreat and get all ready for all things autumn. So, again, email me at, Janet, I have yours. I'll get a hold of you for yours, Janet. This is yours. Email me at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com and I can get this in the mail. I do have some other project bags that I'll just show you now that I made that are going out to some other people who have already paid for these orders and they're going to go out in the mail. And here's a cookbook fabric. Fully quilted, nice and cushy. That's cookbook fabric. This is spring fabric that is so pretty. And there's one that's got this colorway on the inside. And there's one with this colorway. So some of these are custom orders. This custom order, it will be going out in the mail, and I love it. I might have to make some more. It's Teresa Kogut. It's a set. This is her For the Love of Nature fabric. It's got a handle. The flannel floss friend. Snaps. And there's the flannel on the inside. And this is a set. If you're interested, send me an email at stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. And the inside of this is a Laurie Holt. It's just got little X's in it, but they matched the outside, so I thought that was kind of cute. So there's those. Those are going to go out, but I just wanted to share them with you. Now, let's talk about our 1-year anniversary giveaways. Are you guys ready? Okay, so not only am I giving out project bags, and those of you who have been faithful subscribers since the beginning, you know I have given out 2 project bags on every single episode except for the very first one. Some of the people have claimed them, some of them have not, some of them are going into the mail now, some of them, one of them I had to almost cancel on her because she lived in Canada, and I tried to get the cheapest United States postal rate to go to Canada, and it was almost $45. So she did happen to have family that lives in the United States that I could mail it to. But I am going to say, unfortunately, that these 10 items I'm giving away are for U.S. residents only. I'm very, very sorry, but postage is outrageous right now to go to Canada. I don't know what's going on. So I apologize. Please be 18. Please be a subscriber, a public subscriber. This video, and you're going to comment a number because I'm going to do 10 rather than a keyword. But I'm trying to think of a question. What question should we ask? Okay, let's just talk about fall, shall we? Are you stitching something fall related? Do you have a specific project fall related that you want to stitch? Or are you Halloween? Are you really into Halloween? And do you have a project? So fall or Halloween, comment, the number of the item that you want and whether you have a favorite fall or Halloween pattern that you are going to stitch, and when are you going to start stitching them. So if you guys are ready, get a pencil and paper out so you can write down what number that you are interested in, and here we go. Item number 1, and I'm not taking any of these out of the plastic. There's only a couple that are in plastic. Number 1, I got a double of this, and it's the number 1 Fall on the Farm. Little House Needleworks. This is the first one. It's Fall on the Farm. If you're interested in this one, use the number 1. Oh, hang on. Oh, here it is. So to say, my number 2 is gone. Okay, number 2, I got duplicates of this. It's Laurie Holt Stitch Card Set D. That has a bee and a flower and a bee scalp and a watering can and another little flower. These are Laurie Holt Stitch Cards Set D. If you want that, say number 2. Number 3, Winter Arches by Bent Creek. Number 3, Winter Arches by Bent Creek. A lot of people have gotten these and they're stitching these. So I don't think I'll ever stitch them. If I stitch any of the stockings, it's going to be the cooler design ones that were in the Cross Stitch and Country Craft magazine. Not these. These are the Shepherd's Bush stockings. And this one is Reed stocking. And this is number 4. Number 4, Reed stocking. Number 5 is Birdie's stocking. Number 5, Birdie's stocking from Shepherd's Bush. Number 6 is Tina's stocking. Number 6, Tina's stocking by Shepherd's Bush. And number 7 is Charlene's stocking. Charlene's stocking, also Shepherd's Bush. And that was number 7. Number 8. This one was really popular last year. I like it. I just don't think I'm going to stitch it. And so I'm going to share it with you guys because maybe one of you is just dying to stitch it and you will be the lucky winner of number 8. This is number 8, Quaker Pumpkin by Hello from Liz Matthews. Quaker Pumpkin. If you are interested in that, use the number 8 with your comment. Be a subscriber, public subscriber, like the video, all the things. So that is number 8. Number 9. For all of you that really do like Halloween, I made some Halloween project bags. This is number 9. Look at those spider webs on the inside. There's spider webs on the outside and spider webs on the inside. It's just a vinyl front project bag with a hook. Again, if you were interested in this project bag, say number 9 and tell me if you're going to stitch Halloween. Number 10. This one is so cute. I wish I had more of this fabric because this one is so cute. If you like purple, this is number 10. And the zipper's purple. And there's a hook in it. And the cute hats. I'm thinking those really cute, and I'm going to tag her in this. Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl. Her cute little witch that she's patterned, because she's designing now, that cute little witch pattern. Or Annabella's has a cute little witch pattern out. That would be so cute in this project bag. Elaine, you want one? Aren't they so cute? So, if you want this project bag, use the number 10 in your comment when you tell me if you stitch Halloween or if you stitch fall. And if you have any projects you're just dying to do. So that's 1 through 10. So, again, thank you everybody for watching my channel, for comments that you leave. I got so many comments after the last one. People saying, oh my gosh, you're back. We missed you. We missed you. I was so touched. So, thank you. If you were one of the people that said that but didn't subscribe, please subscribe to my channel. So, as we can see, August is a new month. We're going to have new projects in the Whip Go. We're going to have a new Camp Cross Stitch project that I showed you. I'm going to start fall and Halloween, and thank you guys for watching. I don't have any, I'm not going to this retreat as I told you. The next thing that I go to won't be until Galleria. My good friend Jennifer, who was my roomie at the Steel City Stitchers retreat last ice storm in February, I reached out to her and said, hey, you want to go to Galleria? And she's like, sure. So we're going to hop in a car and go to Galleria. Galleria, if you don't know, it's the end of September, very beginning of October. It's in an Embassy Suites in St. Charles, Missouri, outside of St. Louis. And it's like Nashville Needlework Market, where the designers and shop owners will be at Galleria, but the designers will be at Galleria as well. And instead of it being a wholesale market, it is a retail. They're selling their patterns and designs, and project bags and fabric dyers or whoever are going to be selling to us, our stitchers. It's not a wholesale market. It's for stitchers. There's going to be stitching rooms available for people to stitch. There's a suite. They're like, the front room is like a little living room, and the bedroom's in the back. So just like Needlework Market that I showed you, that I went and helped Elaine, it's just like that, only the little shops will be for stitchers to come and purchase designs at retail. So put in a Google search, Needlework Gallery, and it'll pull up the website, and it'll give you more information about it, and you can buy it, go to classes and learn. Designers will have classes, and it's a lot of fun. I've never been, but I've heard a lot about it. So Jennifer and I are going to go to that, so I'm pretty excited. That's not till the end of September. Then in mid-October, I have a very small retreat here in Lansing, Michigan, that that's just put on local by a gal here. She's done it 5 or 6 years. A lot of the people that come, not everybody, but a lot of people that come stitch a lot of the bigger, like Mirabilias and Nora Corbett's and Bella Philippine, whatever, however you say it. There's a lot of those, type of projects. They're fabric dyers. I was a project bag vendor for that retreat. So I may be doing that a little bit, and that's in the middle of October. And then I think towards the end of October, Stitches and Things has their fall retreat, and that's in Fenton, Michigan. So I may go to that. I don't know if I'm going to do... I was on the email list to go to Stitch West, but I don't think I'm going to go. And then, because that's October. I don't want to be going to October, the end of October, almost, and then turn around and have to go to Asheville, North Carolina, because that's where my focus needs to be. Not attending retreats, but getting this one ready for you guys to come. Elaine and I are so excited. I cannot begin to tell you. We've got lots of work to do, lots of stuff to put this together, but we cannot wait to meet everybody and have fun and just enjoy your company, stitching with us. And if this is your first retreat, please, please, please don't be nervous. Come, it'll be a lot of fun. So that's all I got going on. I may try to, Chantel, if you watch, I need to come see you, girl. Chantel from 141 Design Company that does all those wonderful backers for her cross stitch projects. Her and her husband have a wood business. He's a furniture builder. And they live right here in Williamston. That's maybe 20-25 minutes from me. So I want to have a little stitchy meetup with her. I got some ideas I need to pick her brain about, and she's helping me out with some stuff for the Annabella's retreats. So I'm going to get a hold of you, Chantel, okay? So I'm going to get off of here because we just hit 2 hours, and I told you I wasn't going to go over 2 hours. So thank you guys for welcoming me back when I have such a long break between floss tubes. Please like, share, enter for the giveaways. Thank you for making this year so wonderful. Thank you for all the wonderful stitchy friends that I've met. And go meet and stitch. Even if you don't want to go to a big, huge retreat, get together with some friends and stitch. So until next time, bye. Love you guys.